everybody, Thrifty Teresa here. It is the 17th of September, and I am coming to you with my part one of my September Etsy sales, which will be, of course, what I sold from the 1st to the 15th of September on Etsy. I did not have any sales in my handmade shop so far this month, so everything that you'll see today is from my Thrifty Teresa vintage shop. I sold a ton of buttons. A while back, I got a big lot of buttons or pins or pin backs or badges, whatever you want to call them. They're usually little round things that you stick on your shirt or on your hat or on your backpack or whatever you're going to do with these buttons. Some people call them flair. I don't like to talk about my flair, if you're a fan of Office Space. Anyway, so I got a whole bunch of these buttons, and I have had some of them listed for quite some time, but all of a sudden they just started selling. And I can't really figure out where the traffic's coming from, if there just happens to be some fancy badge convention out there, or I didn't notice any interesting traffic from Pinterest or my Facebook page or anything like that, and I wasn't really posting any to Instagram, so I don't know where all the traffic came from, but the first half of September I sold a gang of buttons. So let's go check them out. Okay, first guy bought eight. Anyway, he bought a bunch of buttons. And this is the first one he bought. The Our Gang Little Rascals pin, this one features Spanky. I actually had 3 of them, and he bought 2. He bought the Spanky button for $5. Then he bought this set of small Rockefeller campaign buttons. Those sold as a set for $8. Then he also bought this lenticular button, which was really cool, for Adlai Stevenson, his campaign button back from the 50s. It's one of those ones where if you move it, the picture changes, so you have his face, or it says all the way with Adlai. So that button went for $8. He also bought this anti-Christmas pin, Bah Humbug, with this little possum on it. I don't quite know where that possum came from or what it has to do with Christmas or anti-Christmas, but it was just cute and funny. It was stamped on the edge that it was made in 1984. So it was a nice little pin. He bought that. The next one he bought was Buckwheat, part of the Our Gang collection. And as you see here, this Kids Go Hojo thing, I had to research that, and it actually comes up like it was some sort of campaign in the early 90s for Howard Johnson hotels. And I guess children that came to the hotel with their families got these buttons for free. So that's where these originally came from. These aren't from back in the original Our Gang Little Rascals days, but they were brought up for this campaign that the hotel was doing, which is kind of neat. The Buckwheat pin sold for $5. Let's see, and then this is the last pin that this particular person purchased from Hubert Humphrey, political pin from the 60s. This Humphrey pin went for $8. So then the very next day, I got another sale of more buttons from a different person. So this person bought, starting off with this big Walt Disney World button. This was a large button. It was definitely, I think it was almost 3 inches. And it has some scuffing on it, but it was still pretty nice. Walt Disney World Donald Duck button. That sold for $8. And then he also bought this pink Happy Face button. Just old school metal pin back button. It wasn't even fancy. It just had one of these stick pins in it. It's very old school. Pink Happy Face button sold for $6. Then the next day, or later that week or something, another pin sold. Just this pin sold by itself to a customer. It is from the New York Evening Journal, which is an old newspaper back from the 30s. And this newspaper had all sorts of little cartoons that were featured in the newspaper, and the villain is one of the cartoons that was in that newspaper. Pretty nice button for being as old as it is, and this button sold for $10. Pretty good. And then I think the last pin that sold to a different customer a couple days later is some sort of anti-war, pro-peace, damn the man, fight the power kind of thing. It says no neutron bomb, anti-nuclear, of course. This was a plastic button that was looked like metal, but it was plastic. Very strange, bright colors, black and red. That pin sold for $8. So all of these pins I got in a couple different pin lots. I picked up. So I believe, based on what I can remember, I'm pretty sure these pins averaged out to about 30 cents a piece. Some of them were 50 cents a piece. One of the lots was more expensive than the other. And so for 30 cents or 50 cents a piece and selling them at $5, $6, $8, $10 a pop, that's some pretty good profit. So I'm really pleased, and I'm glad people like my pins. I have a lot more pins to list. I have a whole bunch of political pins that I plan on listing as we get closer to political season. I don't necessarily enjoy political season, but I know a lot of people do, and I've got lots of pins to help them show their political support, both on both sides of the party lines. So hopefully we'll get more pin sales later. Okay, so then we had some actual other items besides just a boatload of pins. This is a fan. It was a wooden fan that was hand painted. It was beautiful. I think I showed it in one of my haul videos not too long ago. This green fan. Was very nice. It sold for $14. And actually, this sold by word of mouth. My friend Lee, who lives in Ohio, she bought something from me the other week. She follows my Facebook page, and whenever I post something on Etsy, it automatically shows up on my Facebook page. She saw the fan and knew the perfect person who would love to have it. So she sent a message to her friend. She sent a message to me saying, I told a friend about your fan. She loves fans. And that fan, or that friend bought the fan and sent me a message saying, Lee told me to come check out this fan. So very happy to make a new customer from word of mouth from a friend. That was really, really nice. Again, this fan sold for $14. Then I got this teddy bear bank. It's a little bus. It says Teddy Bear Bus Company, wooden little bank. Look at all these cute little things. It also had a music box in it and played the Teddy Bear Picnic song. Very cute, from 1986. This is something that my dad had in his collection of stuff. He brought it over to my house one day and said you could probably sell this on Etsy, and I did. So this bear bank sold for $20. And the last item for this part of the month is a set of old cards and envelopes. It was a set of 25 cards and 25 envelopes. Came in this little box. I originally bought them for myself for like 99 cents at the Goodwill. I always need thank you cards for when I send out my orders. But when I got them, I found out when I opened the box that these are actually thank you / sympathy cards, because they're thanking somebody for being there during a difficult time, probably for funerals and things of that nature. So I can't necessarily use these. I don't want to use them. But I thought, okay, they're nice enough. I will sell them on Etsy. And they sold for $10 for the set of 25 cards and 25 envelopes. So in total, for the first 2 weeks of September, My total profit, this is after shipping, after cost of goods, after Etsy fees and PayPal fees or whatever fees, my net profit was $97.94. That comes out to $7.53 per item. So again, that's pretty good. Like I was saying before, with those pins that I sold at $5, $10 a piece, when I only picked them up for a few cents, having an average profit of $7 off of this thing is pretty great. So anyway, that's my first half of September. I will come back at the end of September, early November or October, whatever comes after September. And I will let you know what I sold later. I may also do an eBay video. eBay sales are a little slow and they're not really that exciting. I haven't sold anything really cool. So I may not do an eBay video until later in the month. But I will absolutely come back with another Etsy video later for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!